Alrighty. Okay, I'm hoping that we are live now. I'll never get used to these beginning things. So, just want to make sure that, hold please. All right, can I be heard? Maybe. I'll trim all this out. Okay, here we go. Okay, hello everybody. Karen here. It's Thursday, December the 17th, 2020, and we are deep into the final stretch of getting our gifts together for people. I'm just distracted by this. Getting our gifts together for people. And this is the time of year when sometimes we turn to DIY gifts. DIY gifts are great. I love getting them. I love the idea of making them. And I say the idea of making them because I have really good intentions much of the time. And then I find that I get stuck and it's silly. So if you're a musician, you have a very strong tendency to be likely a perfectionist, right? So we can't play at an elite level without having that sort of streak of freakish perfectionism in us. So this is something that's sort of innate to the kind of personality that we are. Those of us who are perfectionists, we have a hard time with putting something out there that isn't perfect. And it's something that many of us really struggle with. So what's really, oh, thank you, Rebecca. So what's really hard for people like us is to get past little things like, I don't have the perfect jars, or I don't know what recipe to choose, or I don't have my list set up right, my recipient list. So how can I possibly put these things together? This always happens to me. And every year I say, let's make DIY gifts. This year we were going to make candles, and I got the stuff to make candles, and then I just didn't. We still could. So last week I did a DIY, online DIY class for some people through my HR department at Brock, and I made them really, really easy. And I started that workshop with, hey, I really am not good at finishing DIY, so let's make these really easy. This workshop that I did, and what I also will do for you today, is here's how to make DIYs when you're really not good at making DIYs. But before we get into that, I want to talk about why we get stuck. And I want to use the analogy of exercise. We all know we should do it, and it's really easy to find ways to find excuses as to why we didn't do it, how we had good intentions, and we, set the alarm for 6 a.m, and we got up and then our shoes were in the wrong place, so we went back to bed. Or I didn't put my clothes out and so I went back to bed. Or maybe it's just me. So sometimes it's just finding that one barrier to the thing that is holding you back and fixing the thing. One of the things I've really done since COVID is I've really finally honed my morning routine. I am not a morning person. I now get up every day at 6:25. And do you know why? I get up at 6:25 because I know exactly what I have to do. Everything is laid out. I don't have to think about it. And what really helped me start that was I had to put my clothes out the night before. That was the thing. So if I didn't have my clothes laid out, oh, I don't know where my socks are and I have to turn on that. No, I went back to bed. Forget it. Same with DIYs. Don't let the, oh, I don't have the perfect jars stop you. Don't let the, oh, I don't know exactly all the list of people, so then I don't know how many jars I have to go buy. And, oh, I don't know which of these bath bomb recipes I should make. Or, oh, I don't have that. No, just do it. So, all right, there's the philosophy. Now, I'm going to give you 3 ridiculously easy DIY recipes. If you'd rather just read it on the blog, go to theessentialmusician.ca/blog, but just go to theessentialmusician.ca, find the blog. It's there. Okay. So step 1, don't get stuck on what should be step 1. I'm looking at my blog now. So fine. And actually, when I wrote the blog, I rewrote it a few times, and then I thought, this is dumb. I'm rewriting it because I think, what should step 1 be? Oh, someone else will think step 1 should be something else. Oh, there's no step 2. You know what? I decided just to leave it. If you don't like it, that's too bad. I'm putting it out there in its imperfect perfection, and it's hard for me to do that because I'm a perfectionist. Okay. DIY recipe, really easy DIY recipe number 1, bath salts. Here is my bath salt result. I'm not even going to show you how to do it because this is like I almost didn't do this because I don't have all the stuff to. No, I'm just going to tell you. Okay, you get some Epsom salts and you get some containers. But here's the thing: you got to use a bowl first. In the bowl, mix. Here's the mix. I'll put it in the chat in the comments after. Third of a cup of Epsom salts in the bowl. 3 drops of whatever you want. Lavender's a good bet. Mix well. Scoop. This is less than a third of a cup, right? This is about a quarter cup. Because anymore, if you have one of these, especially the glass ones, this one's plastic, but especially if you have the glass ones, these are heavy. So if you put a little more than that, then they just kind of come apart, right? So, but do you need one of these fancy little thingies? No, you can use a jar. Just get a jar. And when I did the DIY workshop for my people at school, one of the ladies had a jar that was too big for the recipe. I said, that's okay, just multiply the recipe. Who wouldn't love getting a huge bottle of Epsom salts with lavender oil in them? So you don't have lavender oil? That's okay, use something else. That's all right, but the proportions are a third of a cup of Epsom salts with 3 drops of whatever. Now, if you're getting stuck, you're probably stuck at the jars. I've already told you, just pick a jar. And if you really like the person, use a mason jar. That's okay. You know what? One time someone did a real number on their back. So I gave them bath salts in a mason jar with, like, I don't know what did I put in there, marjoram and Siberian fir and some other really great things. Because why not? I have the stuff, gave them to her, and she felt better. So there you go. Do a big one, do a small one, doesn't matter. Okay, Epsom salts, containers, mason jars work really well. Are you stuck on the decorating? Do you see how much decorating I did? Do you know what I do for the decorating? I get a gift tag because I already have them, and I just write their name on it and I attach it. Maybe I'll put it in a bag. People don't care. Well, okay, some people care about how they're wrapped, but who wouldn't love getting that as a gift? It's awesome. Okay, if you want to take it up a notch, you can add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I don't bother. I'm too lazy. You can try different blends. You can try adaptive or holiday peace. My dog is barking. Serenity, citrus, bliss, balance, whatever. Any combo will do. Just put some in there. I personally don't love pepperminty things in my bath. There's that try it once though. It's really interesting. If I love a hot bath, and if you're in a hot bath and you put peppermint in, it's like you're all cold around this hot bath. It's really weird. I don't love that. So maybe people love that. I would maybe stay away from the pepperminty things. But otherwise, have at it. Third of a cup of Epsom salts, 3 drops of oil. Oh, the reason for mixing it in the bowl first, I tried to be even lazier and mix it right in the container once and just shake it, and it kind of congeals to the side of the container. Do not recommend. Okay, next, room spray or tree spray. The hardest part with this recipe is getting the bottles. You don't need to have one of these fancy bottles. Someone in the workshop, she went to the dollar store and she got bottles. I think they were plastic. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter unless you have someone who really doesn't like plastic things, which is, legit. They were cute, so you can get them. I recommend having that top that looks like that. You can also get those ones, those continuous spray things that are all the rage. doTERRA has them, but they're always sold out because they're really hot item. doTERRA also has, I don't have any within easy reach. If you get that On Guard hand sanitizer mist stuff, those bottles that they come in, they sell those bottles too. They're sold out in Canada, but you get them in the US. It's like 3 for $4 or something. Or go to the dollar store, or I'm sure Michael's probably has them. These are from the former My Essential Business, which is closed down, but you can go to Aroma Tools, has a Canadian site, ca.aromatools.something, and Oil Generation is a new one. Oil, Genner, Oil Generation. I've met her. She's very nice. She has dogs and she lives in small town Ontario. Support small business. Oil Generation with a Genn. Anyway, they all carry these. And okay, here's how you do this. This is 30 mils. So this is a recipe for 30 mils. It's 1 ounce. Looks like more, but it's 1 ounce. I've measured a bazillion times. So for 1 ounce or 30 mils, put in some water and 8 drops of oil. Shake. Done. Seriously, that's all. So for every 1 ounce, it's 8 drops of oil. Now, get fancier, you can put half and half witch hazel. Apparently it mixes better, and apparently the smell lasts longer. I've never tried it. I even have witch hazel in the house, and I've never tried it. Now, you may want to pre-measure your liquid that you're pouring in here, especially if you're using something other than water that you don't want to waste. So what I do is I just fill it with water and then I dump it in the jar and in the measuring cup and I see how much it is. And then if I wanted to add it with Hazel, I'd maybe dump half of it out and put the same amount, top it up to where it was, and then pour it back in. You put the oils in right with it and just shake it. It shakes well that way. And then you just spray. And I have Holiday Joy and peppermint and some Siberian fir. It's really nice. And we have an artificial tree because, why do we have an artificial tree? Because my mother had lung problems and we couldn't have a real tree in the house. So this tree, it used to be my grandmother's, it's like 40 years old. So yeah, we're not like throwing them in the landfill every couple of years. But it doesn't smell like a tree because it's plastic. So we use this, we just spray it on. It's just water. It doesn't last a long time, but whatever. You can also spray the ornaments. And of course I didn't bring my ornaments, but doTERRA, the freebie this month, if you got it, because it's over now, is a clay ornament. Spray that. There you go. So don't let the bottles trip you up, okay? Just any old spray bottle will do. Go to the dollar store, whatever. And that's it. So my favorite combo is Holiday Joy and peppermint, half and half, 4 and 4. But you can use whatever you want. If you have an artificial tree and you want it to smell tree-ish, add some tree oils. Done. Okay. Yeah, I also read that if you put half a teaspoon of Epsom salts in, got Epsom salts in the first DIY, right? Then just it makes the aroma last longer. Cool. Sugar scrub. I love giving sugar scrub. Full disclosure, I make them and I never use them. But the other night I thought, oh, I'm going to use the sugar scrub that I made that I didn't give away because I'm not that organized. You know what? It's awesome. Why have I waited so long? Okay, but you know what's great about this sugar scrub? It tastes delicious. So if you're going to make sugar scrub that you want to put on your lips, make sure you're using edible food grade products. So easiest version for, I don't know how, the quarter, what is this? I don't know how big this is. 6 tablespoons of sugar, 6 drops of essential oils, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So 6 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and 6 drops of whatever oils you want. Mix, scoop, done. Okay, now what I've put in here, let's talk about the coconut oil. This is where we might get stuck. First of all, we've had our conversation about the jars. These are from the Dollarama. These are great. And they already come with the ribbon, right? So here's where you might get stuck. Step 1, get your jars, done. You already did it in the first DIY, right? With Epsom salts, okay. Step 2, figure out what carrier oil you're going to use. Let's talk about coconut oil. Fractionated coconut oil is the stuff that we use generally in our rollers. It's in the doTERRA rollers. You can buy it from doTERRA, and it's sort of a standard carrier oil because it's liquid at room temperature. It doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't stain your clothes, which I can tell you firsthand is true because how many times have I put a roller on my chest and I've drawn on the top of my shirt? Yeah, it comes out in the wash. Sometimes it takes 2 washes, but it comes out. However, I don't know why, but fractionated coconut oil does not appear to be edible, ingestible. I don't know why. I've checked my label. The doTERRA one, doTERRA stuff's clean, right? But I don't know why it's not safe for ingestion, so I don't take any chances. What I use for the coconut oil for this stuff is I go to the grocery store and I get the coconut oil from the fancy oil section. That's what I use. And you can also use it in your rollers. Normally I use the doTERRA stuff, but for anything that might be edible, that's what I use. Also, by extension, anytime I put anything on the dogs, like our dog Pepper, she gets hot spots. So we use the edible coconut oil and whatever skin oils we use on her. And she likes it. She licks it because they're going to do that. So make sure it's edible. So if you're going to use your scrub on lips, make it with edible, make sure that all the parts are edible. Sugar, obviously. And doTERRA essential oils are ingestible. They're safe for ingestion. doTERRA only, please. And if you're not sure if you can ingest the oil, here's an easy trick. If you can ingest the thing that it's from, you can safely ingest the oil. If you're not sure, don't. Best way to check though is look on your label. And it should say something like nutritional information or safe for topical, aromatic, or internal use, something like that. Yeah, so it should say, if it doesn't say that, then just don't use it. Now, did you know you can ingest lavender? You sure can. My favorite combo is peppermint and lavender. 4 and 4? No, 3 and 3. Oh, you guys, it smells really good. Okay, so that's it. I'll recap. Get a jar, 6 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or any other oil you want, and 6 drops of essential oils. Mix, scoop, done. So half lavender, half peppermint is my favorite, but you can use whatever you want. So it's nice to use a citrus. It's nice to use, there's like a ginger and something. You know what? Just Google sugar scrub recipes. You'll find a bazillion of them, but I like lavender peppermint. So that's the easy version. Easy version. We talked about we talked about the coconut oil. So you can use something else. If I don't use olive because it really smells, but if you're just using it on skin, you can use jojoba, you can use grapeseed oil, you can use whatever you want. Take it up a notch. There are some recipes that suggest to use skin safe food coloring. And then you can layer it to look like candy canes. That's too much work. I don't bother. You can also use fancier sugar, brown sugar. There's all kinds of recipes out there. What do you use a scrub for? You can use it on your lips. Brass players, wind players, when you're using your lips all the time, that's great. Exfoliate that stuff. Use it on your feet, especially the peppermint. Oh, that's what I used it. That's what I used it on the other day. Why did I wait so long? That stuff is awesome. Okay, sugar scrub. That's it. Hey, I've already gone through everything. So that's what I wanted to say. Easy DIYs. I'm going to link my blog post in the comments, and the recipes are in there. Seriously though, don't let something silly like getting the containers be the thing to stop you from making these great gifts. If you're concerned that they don't look nice enough to give to people, then you don't want to be giving stuff to those people anyway. And also DIY gifts are great. And we tend to forget, especially those of us who have oils in our lives, we tend to forget just how special these oils are. We use them all the time. It's easy to take them for granted. People who don't have these oils in their lives, they love this stuff because this stuff is this is nice stuff. It's nice stuff and we use it all the time. So that's what I wanted to say. Don't let that difficult passage in that sonata stop you from learning the rest of the piece. Does that make sense? For my musicians. All right. I guess this is our last one before New Year's because the next 2 Thursdays are Eves. So I'm not coming on the Eves. We'll see. Maybe New Year's Eve. We'll see. Stay well, everyone. Happy holidays. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.